everyone, this is Sarah and welcome back to my channel. On today's video I am going to be talking about the devil. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot probably, but I really want to talk about this and give some thoughts out to the world about this, because I think it's necessary to talk about the devil, okay? Anyway, make yourself comfortable and let's get into the video. Alright, so this video is actually primarily going to be about the devil in tarot. I have a few cards here that I'm going to be showing you throughout the video. But before I get into the devil in tarot, I do need to touch a little bit on the devil as a figure, a little bit of a background there. And like his story in general. It's going to be brief. I promise it's going to be brief because that would be the topic for like another video. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about that first. Now, a little disclaimer or a side note, whatever you want to call it. I think I do need to say before I even begin that this video, or rather my opinions on the topic, might be a little bit biased because I have a Laveyan Satanism background myself, so just keep that in mind, okay? Take that into account, if you will. Another disclaimer that I need to say before I dive into this topic is that whatever I say in this video or in any other videos is purely my personal experience, my personal opinions, and I in no way intend to tell anyone what to do, how to approach tarot or spirituality, esotericism, the devil himself, okay? So, with all that being said, let's talk a little bit about the devil's background, okay? So, who is the devil? I'm going to come at it from the Christianity point of view. So, the devil basically is the fallen angel. He's an angel who's been cast out of heaven because he rebelled against God. Okay, now, I don't know about you, but in my book, that literally is like the symbol that makes him the symbol of the absolute willpower. And it is very important for me to tell you that, because I'm going to be referencing to like the symbol of willpower later on in the video. So that makes him, in my book, the symbol of the absolute willpower. Now, with that being said, if you've been living on Earth for a while, you probably already have like seen the devil symbolism, etc., thrown all around the place as something negative, right? The devil is something that is like the bad thing, is like the bad guy, right? And you are probably familiar with the phrase, the devil made me do it, right? Because like the movies and shit. Yeah. I'm saying that because I just straight up want to say that I absolutely disagree with that statement, or rather I don't really believe in that statement as such. I think it just doesn't make sense to me, okay? And I'm going to refer back to what I said in just a moment ago with the devil being the symbol of an absolute willpower. I can't really wrap my head around the idea of like the symbol of an absolute willpower, the energy that is literally so self-empowered, just walking around the freaking earth, telling people to do bad stuff. Nah, it just doesn't. It just doesn't sit well with me. And that leads me to a little bit of a philosophical wormhole that I kind of also need to go through before I get into the tarot stuff, which is I believe that humans, I don't want to say like humans are bad, but I don't believe humans are good in nature. And what do I mean by that? I mean that the humans, we have, like, first of all, humans are incredibly complex beings, okay? That's undeniable. I I think. And with that, I just want to say that we as humans have desires, we have our instincts, urges, whatever. With that, I don't want to say that it's okay to like do bad stuff. Not at all. But what I want to say is that I believe as humans, we need to acknowledge that we have our, desires and stuff. And it is also our responsibility as human beings to be in charge of those to a certain point. Like we can let go sometimes, but other times we probably shouldn't, right? Now, I don't really want to go into the whole what is good and what is bad, because the goodness and the badness, I think, is like a spectrum. Now, of course, there are extremes to that spectrum, and I'm definitely not going to be talking about that. But sometimes when it comes to like the middle ground, like somewhere in the middle in that spectrum, like what is good and what is bad, it's kind of difficult to say, okay? But why I'm saying all of that, coming back to the devil figure. Let's say if I want to do something, okay? And I know that it's probably not the best thing to do, but I still want to do it, and I decide to do it. It's kind of selfish. Well, selfish is the word. I don't. I think it's kind of selfish of me to say the devil made me do it, because he didn't. Okay, he didn't. He doesn't do that. And again, it's just my opinion, but I think we do need to take responsibility for our freaking desires and what we do and what we not do and what we choose to act on and what not. So, with all that being said, I am now going to proceed to bring this subject into the tarot world. Okay, so the devil in the tarot is usually seen as like the negative card. Now, for anyone who is watching this video and is maybe new to tarot, if you're a tarot beginner or just learning, I need to say something that every tarot reader will probably tell you, and that is that there is no such a thing as good and bad tarot cards, because every card has a positive and a negative aspect, blah blah blah. You probably heard it somewhere, but I still feel the urge to say it just in case. Okay, just in case. However, there are certain cards that immediately make you like jump into one or the other side of the spectrum of like the positive or the negative aspect of the card, and the devil being one of those negative cards where, well, for the lack of better words, I guess, it just, usually when people get the devil in the readings, it's like the reaction is usually, oh no, the devil, no. And I'm gonna tap into why that is. So, when we look at the traditional depiction of the devil in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, okay, we have the devil figure and we have the two human figures that are chained sort of like to the devil. Or rather, not to the devil, but like to like a pedestal the devil sits upon, okay? And I'm going to be referencing a website of BD Tarot. I'm going to leave the link below, just so I don't rumble this one out. And, well, she's basically a tarot reader. She's got this website full of, like, card descriptions, etc. So, also, if you want to learn tarot, her website is a pretty decent source, I would say, if you want something that's online and easily accessible. So, I'm going to be referencing her site. Now, I'm not going to read you, like, the whole devil description, but I'm gonna touch on the keywords shortly. So, what are the keywords for the devil? Shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality. That would be like the keywords for the upright meaning, and the reversed would be releasing limiting beliefs, exploring dark thoughts, detachment. Now, I'm gonna go with the keywords for like the upright meaning of the devil. Sorry, I quoted that because I don't really use upright and reversed cards. I just read cards in... I pull cards in like upright way, and I just try to incorporate both spectrums depending on the context, the question, and usually sometimes intuition. But yeah, that was just like a side note. But I want to reference this. So the devil is usually seen like in the traditional system. Now I'm continue saying traditional because you will see that I have a completely different take on it, but I'm gonna get into that later. So traditionally the devil is seen as something that restrains you, right? So it's something therefore like bad. It's something that doesn't let you be free almost, and it's like it's your addictions, your negative patterns, toxic behaviors, etc., kind of like imprisoning you and just not letting you go. So it's something like a bad, like when you're going through like the really dark moment, right? So usually people kind of tend to freak out when they see the devil card because again, I think it's kind of linked with like the predictive sort of a way of approaching tarot, because it's like when someone sees the Tower and it's immediate, what's gonna happen, like what bad thing is gonna happen. It's kind of similar in my opinion with the devil. People see the devil and they're like, I know, like I can't escape this situation, this is so bad for me and I'm just so powerless. That would be the word, powerlessness. I think I would probably put that keyword to a traditional meaning of the devil as well, powerlessness. Why? Because people usually tend to feel pretty powerless when it comes to bad habits, addictions. I mean, the entire, I would say the entire meaning of the word addiction even is like you're addicted to something, therefore you can't leave that thing, okay? Or like whatever that might be, I'm not gonna get into that too much. Now, I understand why that might be when it comes to like, I'm gonna be referencing back like the background of the devil, if you will. I understand to a certain extent why that might be. I mean, the devil is literally portrayed as someone who makes you do bad things. Even though I already said I don't agree with that statement, it is kind of socially accepted statement anyway. It's very commonly used, like the devil is someone bad. Therefore, people tend to feel like they're losing their power to the devil. Also, there is that like another sort of a popular statement being like, I sold my soul to the devil, I believe. Which again, you kind of give away your power. But that brings me back to, why would that be it? I mean, I'm gonna have to repeat myself here, but with the devil being the symbol of the ultimate freedom, willpower, like the control of oneself, it just kind of doesn't click with like me giving my power away, because I don't really think and feel that the devil might even want your soul. And I'm not saying this is going to weird places, but I'm not saying your soul isn't amazing. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But I believe, and my personal experience with the devil card, I don't want to say necessarily devil energy, because I, like a little, just to clarify a little bit, I don't really work with the devil as the energy. Because as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I have the LaVeyan Satanism background, and the LaVeyan Satanism approaches devil as the symbol. Okay, he's like a philosophical symbol. He's like an idea. Okay, not like the actual entity, not the actual Satan. Okay, that's another branch of Satanism, if you will. So I approach the devil in this way. Okay, basically, I see the devil as the reminder of your own willpower and your own control over your own life. Okay, this is it. I don't really feel, when I see the devil card coming, and I'm gonna tell you about my experience with like actually pulling the devil. I don't really see it as me losing my power, but rather me gaining my power back. But it's not that easy either. But again, first things first, I'm gonna show you a few cards. So I got here the devil from the Gothic Tarot by Joseph Vargo. Very beautiful deck. And this is rather traditional depiction of the devil. It's very reminiscent of Rider-Waite-Smith. So you've got the devil and you've got the two skeletons who are chained to the pedestal upon which the devil stands. And this is why I said I kind of understand why people would immediately freak out and be like, okay, so I'm just powerless right now, because there is this entity that is in charge of my life right now. It is in charge of my decision-making ability, whatever. It is in charge of whatever is gonna happen, and I'm just this chained little poor person, skeleton in this case, okay? So I get it. I get it that there is the sense of powerlessness. However, how I like to think about the devil and approach this kind of imagery is that I believe it is incredibly helpful if you shift your perspective a little bit and try to stop thinking about yourself as the chained figure and try to start thinking about yourself as the devil figure. So you are in charge, okay? You are completely in charge of anything. You are in charge of whatever you keep chained or whatever you choose to unchain. So if you kind of, I don't know to say forget about, but push aside a little bit the idea of these two people, these two skeletons being like actual people being chained to the devil, think of them as your bad habits, your desires, you know, something that you want. Well, that's a desire. Think of it as that. Now, if you're the devil figure, you are in charge of what you keep, again, what you keep chained. So what you choose not to do, things you choose not to act upon, and also what you choose to do act upon. Now, if you do choose to unchain certain things, so let's say you have a desire and you choose to act upon it, you choose to make it real, just freaking go for it, you know. There is this tendency, you can see, there's this tendency to say the devil made me do it, because sometimes we do have desires that are not, that maybe doesn't sit well with the society or morality. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge anyone here. Again, I'm speaking about like the middle ground, okay? I'm not speaking about the atrocities that some people do that are like on the extreme of the spectrum of what is good and bad. I really need to stress it out. Speaking just middle ground here. So, when you do something, when you choose to act upon something that maybe isn't exactly socially acceptable, I'm not gonna give you examples. I'm pretty sure if you're an adult, you probably had at least one of those. Use your imagination, okay? So when you choose to do that, sometimes there is this aftermath of it. Sometimes there comes the period of like okay, what did I just do? And you start to kind of question yourself whether that was a good decision or a bad decision, which again, side note, I have this personal belief that not how do you say that? Neither decision is good or bad. It's just a decision, you know. But that's probably the topic for another video. I don't want to go too philosophical on that here. But there comes this aftermath. Sometimes you kind of regret certain things, and then it's obviously easier to just blame it on something else. Okay, in this case, since we are talking about the devil is he's a very good at like being thrown the guilt on. Okay, so like, oh no, that was just me, like the devil moment, it was just the devil making me do that in whatever way that might be for you. But I think that's kind of wrong to do that, okay, because you were the one who decided that. Now, if you're an adult, you know that there are consequences for things, and you need to be okay with whatever consequences come from whatever you choose to do. But that's the bottom line here. You choose to do. So you are the devil in that case. And where I'm going with all of that is that if you approach this card in this way, it might not be easy, because taking responsibility for things is hard thing to do. Especially taking responsibility for things that you do that are kind of questionable, but we've all been there, I think. At least I know I was, so there is that. Authenticity, okay? I'm not a saint. So, back to the topic. If you learn how to approach this card in that way, it's gonna give you your power back, your sense of power back, and you're no longer going to be looking at the devil card, freaking out, being like, oh, I'm powerless right now. I can't, you know, I just have to go with my, like, I just have to do whatever I'm doing because that's the devil taking my power away, because that's just my bad habits, that's my addiction having a hold of me. Now, okay, side note, with addictions it's a little bit more complicated because not gonna talk on that. I don't think I have the, I don't want to say authority to talk about it, but I don't really think I'm the person to talk to you about addictions. I think if you have like a heavy addiction, I think the best thing you can do is like ask for an actual help and not really tarot, but that's another topic, that's another thing. Basically, like generally, this approach should give you the sense of power back. So that would be something I wanted to say about the devil, like more of a traditional depiction of the devil. Now, again, I don't have the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I don't work with that deck, so this is why I went with the Gothic Tarot, because that's what the most resembles the actual traditional Rider-Waite-Smith depiction of the devil. Now, I have another devil cards here, 2 more to go, and the next one I'm going to be talking about is my favorite devil card of all times, and it's the devil from the Nameless One Tarot Oracle. The creator is, I can't pronounce her name, I'm gonna leave it on the screen. I have shown you this card before on the channel. I hope that the light isn't like messing with it. Sorry. The cards are pretty dark, but I love this deck. I love this deck. Now, I chose to show you this devil again in this context because I particularly like this one. Why? Because, first of all, because there are no figures. You know, if you know me at all, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I don't like figures, human figures in my decks. I do have some decks that have human figures, but it's not my thing, really. So I really do love this devil because there is literally just the devil figure with a very loose chain around his neck, which, as I mentioned in some of my videos, I don't remember which one now, but it screams freedom to me, and freedom is one of the things that I value the most in life, one of the things, okay? Like, the sense of freedom, if I don't feel free, I freak out. Let's put it that way. Again, that's like another rabbit hole. There are like so many things you can like talk about when it comes to this topic, but okay, I'm just gonna say that. So it screams freedom to me. And again, coming back to this one, it kind of shows what I just told you, right? So you kind of stopped being the chained figure and you became the devil, and in this card you can appreciate it even more because there is just the devil, and since the chain is loose around his neck, it kind of tells you like, hey, again, I have the choice to just like loosen myself, loosen whatever I want to do, whatever I desire, or keep it checked, locked. English, yes. You know where I'm going with this, right? So again, this is about you taking your power back, taking the responsibility into your own hands, and kind of like remembering that it is indeed you that is like in charge of everything. It's not the devil, okay? It's not the devil. Stop blaming the devil, please. I always like, I don't know if you know the series Lucifer. I'm pretty sure you do. It's such a gem. It's such a gem. It's still Netflix. Go and watch it. Go and rewatch it, binge watch it, whatever. And there is one episode of Lucifer where he, like, some stuff was happening. I don't remember the context, but I remember him saying that he's really like tired of being told that the devil made me do it. Like he said something like, I never made anyone do anything. And I felt that so much because that's something I've been thinking my whole life. Like, again, sorry, I might be biased here because of this Satanism background, but I do appreciate the devil. That sounds weird, but okay, just being honest here. So that would be the devil from the Nameless One Tarot Oracle. And I'm gonna show you one more devil card. And that is the devil from the Fortuna Tarot deck by Studio Artemi. Studio Artemi? Hold on. Studio Artemi, yes. Ooh, learned the name of the company. And it's this beautiful card. Now, it wouldn't be me if I didn't say, can you freaking see the beautiful pink foil? Yeah. I used to show you this deck a lot before I get into the Thought deck, which I'm not going to be talking about in this video because I'm taking the break, not from the deck. I'm still reading just with the deck and studying the deck. But in terms of shooting YouTube videos and like talking on my channel, I'm taking a little break, but the Thought videos are coming. That was a side note. Now, the devil, back to the devil. In Fortuna Tarot, I specifically chose to show you this one because I love, love, love and appreciate so freaking much the fact that the devil in this deck is literally a mirror. It's the mirror, guys, okay? And I love this so much because it emphasizes what I already feel about the meaning of the devil, or like the essence of the devil, which is that the devil is actually you. As in, okay, I know, a very heavy statement. But what I mean by that, basically what I've been talking about this whole time, that in the end of the day, it is you calling the shots, okay? It is you who is actually in charge of your life. Whether you choose to do something good or something bad, eventually, like, not eventually, can't think of other word, but basically it is you, okay? It is you. It's always been you, and this deck kind of emphasizes that, and I just love it for it because it's like you and the devil are the one. Like, looking at the devil is like looking in the mirror. What are your deepest desires, okay? Once you acknowledge your desires and once you take a decision whether you want to act on them or not, you come to realize that it's been you all along that is in charge of your life, actually, okay? Not some evil freaking force is driving you. So, the devil from Fortuna Tarot. By the way, my hair is acting so crazy today, I literally don't know what to do with it, so forgive me if I'm like all the time like doing that. I apologize. Anyway, with all that being said, and with all these cards being shown to you, now let me tell you about my personal experience with reading the devil card. I'm going to just like take these here again so you can see them once more all together because they're so pretty. Okay, so what is my experience with reading the devil in the tarot? Basically, when I first started reading tarot, I must say, I did used to approach the devil in the traditional way. So of course, like the bad habits, addictions, being like restrained, whatever. But I quickly learned that it is not really, it just doesn't work for me. Okay, I really tried to read it that way, but it didn't work for me. Why? Well, first of all, as I mentioned, because of my satanic background, but also I have realized that every time, and hear this out, every time I would pull the devil card, it would usually be when I was almost about to do something stupid, something I was very aware of. It wasn't like a surprise thing, like it was usually something that I really knew. Like, I was usually presented with a choice and I knew what the, I don't want to say right decision was, but I know what was the decision that would be good for me, let's put it that way. I know what that... Cariño. My cat always wants to come here when I'm shooting and I'm... Okay. See, hola, cariño, di hola, hello, hello, hello. as usual. Hello, hello. Oi, mi amor. Okay, so, where was I? So, in those moments, I always knew what was the decision that was good for me in the given moment. And I knew very well what was the decision that would probably lead to some nasty consequences, something I didn't really want it. But the thing I wanted to do, kinda, was something I did want, just the consequences were bad. And usually I would pull the devil in those moments. And some people would maybe approach this as in, okay, I'm once again just like swept away by the devil, by the bad things, like I can't escape it, whatever. But to me, I would always approach it as the devil kind of like coming to me, speaking metaphorically, let's put it that way. Like the devil coming to me saying, hey, you know what you want to do, but you know the consequences, and you know what you probably should do right now, and the choice is yours. That's literally it. The choice is yours. But I'm here to remind you that the consequences are going to be there if you choose to do that. That's what I would get from the devil, okay? That was the vibe, the message that I would be getting. And it wasn't once, and it wasn't twice. I used to get the devil card many times because I'm an adult human being, okay? I struggled with a lot of things in my life. And there were so many moments when I was really about to do something really not good for me. I would just put it that way. And again, if I grabbed whichever tarot deck, I would get the devil. And I would get that message. And I learned to see the devil, therefore, as someone like a friend almost. I dare to say. Because you know when you're about to do something stupid that's eventually going to hurt you in a way, that being either physical or mental, spiritual, emotional way, doesn't matter which way, but that can be harmful for you. And your friend, if it's a good friend, is usually going to try to prevent you from doing that, or kind of try to be there for you and be like, hey, you might want to think about it. That was the devil for me. So again, I have to come back to what I was speaking about in the beginning of the video, where people see the devil as someone who tries to lead you astray from the goodness, okay, from the God's will, whatever. He's someone who is trying to make you do the wrong thing, okay, the bad thing. Not in my experience. The devil is actually doing quite the opposite for me. He's literally there like, hey, you might want to think about it, okay? Because this is the moment where you make a decision. This is the moment when you make your decision. And I'm just here to tell you that this is the moment, even though you already know, I'm here to remind you like, hey, just be careful there, okay? Careful there. Literally, this has been the devil for me. So you can see how it is so incredibly difficult for me to even think of the devil as something bad, because in my experience, and actually I'm going to go a little bit further away and say that he actually saved me from many things in the past, okay? Like heavy stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I just really feel like he's got your back almost. This is probably how I'm gonna call this video, because yeah, this is my experience with the devil. This is my experience with the devil in the tarot and the devil figure as such. Again, I don't work with him in how can I put it? I don't work with him as in a more tangible way. I don't know if that's the word exactly I've been looking for, but you know where I'm going with this. So yeah, and the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I know that there is a lot of stigma around the devil in general, not in just in the tarot, but the devil in general. And I might do a video speaking about the devil more in general, as in the maybe my satanic background. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Now, even though I don't consider myself a Satanist at this moment of my life, it is still something that is very close to my heart. I have a huge respect for it. Look, the LaVeyan Satanism helped me through a lot. And I'm forever grateful for it. And I might do a video talking about it. But I don't really want to make this too long. I don't even know for how long I'm shooting this. But I think I'm gonna leave it here. But what I was saying is that I basically wanted to make this video to kind of like help people see the devil in tarot in this particular video in a little bit another light. And just don't freak out so much if you see the devil, okay? Because he can be your friend, actually, and he can be very helpful, and he can make you remember that it is actually you who is in charge of your life. So, I see that my camera is overheating now, which is kind of funny, given the, the topic. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what's your experience with the devil card in tarot, or the devil in general if you want. I don't know. I would be happy to see your opinions on the topic. And yeah, so if you want to hang out with me a little longer, I invite you to watch other videos available on my channel. Consider subscribing also, it would make me really happy. And that would be it from me. So stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!